All right, Donald Trump Jr. is working on a book, and that one surprised me because of all the controversy that could come with it, and do you need the upfront royalties and any of that stuff? Multiple bestseller, Charlie Gasparino, on what's going on here. What do you think?
I had two.
That's more than one. Multiple.
More than one.
You know, I try to help you out, try to pump you up, dude.
Listen, I'm not saying Donald Jr. is not going to be able to sell his book because someone's going to buy this, and it probably will sell. But here's the one downside of it: he is getting some pushback from major publishers. Now, I spoke to several major. I spoke to several. One of them. I spoke to them on the condition of anonymity. I'm not naming who they are. They are among the big five, let's say. And here's what I hear: they are questioning him as he's peddling his book about the Mueller probe. They're worried about whether he might, in fact, be charged. Put all that together, and you got people backing off this thing, significant publishers. And here's the interesting thing: they do ask him in these meetings that when he meets with publishers, what was your role in this? They ask him about that infamous meeting that he had in June 2016 with a Russian national that was looking to give him dirt on Hillary Clinton that Mueller's obviously probing. He comes away, he's essentially flabbergasted, saying, "I can't believe they're still looking at this. I never had a lot of time to collude."
Is this the same meeting we now learn that the president, his father, coached him on?
Yes,
okay.
Yes, and that's part of the problem. So he is having difficulty, convincing publishers that what he wants to pitch as essentially, as one person called it, a defense of daddy, that is a book worth publishing. Now, that doesn't mean he won't publish it. I am telling you, Neil, that you combine a positive presidential tweet, I don't care what it says, Donald Trump has a cult following, and you look at the sales of Corey Lewandowski's books, the former campaign manager, and even Newt Gingrich, who's doing very well. Those are positive Trump books. There is an appetite. It's a niche appetite, but you could sell...
Especially from his flesh and blood.
Right, you could sell anywhere from 150,000 to 300 books. People think that, but there's another side of the coin, and I'm telling you, people are walking away, are balking at this.
Why would a publisher be concerned if he is immersed in still some legal imbroglio?
Well, let's just take it to the extreme. Right. You're going to be able to finish the book in jail. I mean, that's the extreme. I'm not saying that's going to happen. Right. He maintains his innocence. He's got a very competent lawyer. I actually happen to really like Don Jr. A few times I've met him. He's a really good guy. And I think people would buy his book. He's a smart kid. But I am telling you, this is sort of the sort of back and forth, the sort of pushback he's getting.
When would this book be out?
Well, they were querying publishers last week. And I'm telling you, there are several major publishers who said no. Now, that doesn't mean... I mean, the betting is that he'll end up with Hachette, right? The Center Street Books, who seems to be, cornering the market in pro-Trump books. I think they had Corey Lewandowski's book, and I think they had Newt's book. I mentioned those two books, and both of those books sold. Corey Lewandowski probably will sell, according to the estimates out there, something like 250,000 books. Now, that more than covers an advance. Let's just say he got an advance of $500,000. That more than covers it.
Trump Jr. isn't in this for the money. He doesn't need the money, right?
I don't think so, but people, by the way, advances are, people, like, listen, I'm in it for the money because I need to pay the rent. He works for the Trump organization. He makes a lot of money. But, some people get judged. They like to brag. I got my...
Don't give people the impression you don't get paid here, Charles.
Yeah, I do. But I'm just telling you that...
Don't make it sound like you're a sad sack here and you need a book to make ends meet. You do very well, and your books do very well.
Yes, thank you.
Your multiple books.
My last book did not do well, got good reviews, but it did. But I want to make this one point. The Daily Mail, the British tabloid, said that if he does a tell-all book, which includes his divorce, his alleged affair with some model, I don't know.
He won't do that.
And he tells about family drama, he can get $12 million. I'm telling you, based on what he's pitching something pretty prosaic, like, I want to defend my dad, and he's not going to get that type of advance. But he'll still sell.
You never know. Real quickly, Wilbur Ross leaving China without even the frame of a deal or a future commitment.
The markets don't seem to care.
No, they don't. They don't.
Listen, I think the Trump people on trade, I mean, it is a mishmash of conflicting ideologies between Peter Navarro, Wilbur, who's a Peter Navarro light, on China, and more free traders like Mnuchin and Larry Kudlow. I don't know how you develop coherent policy. I tell you the one, listen, if we don't have a trade war, no one's going to really care in the markets. But I will tell you the one bad casualty of this. If they don't really ding ZTE. If this is somehow, they're going to look for some Pyrrhic victory where Z basically says, I'll give you a little bit here, and we don't crush this sort of criminal enterprise, which ZTE was.
Right.
If we don't do that, then this is a big problem. And, I'm telling you, I'm sure that Peter Navarro, I don't agree with him on a lot of trade stuff, but he's right on this thing, because that is a company that does bad stuff.
Yeah, it had you wondering what was the concession we got out of the Chinese to get this. It's still too early. We don't know.
Who knows?
Thank you, my friend.
Anytime.
Multiple bestseller. Charlie Gasparino.
$1 million best.
Million. To the moon. To that moon. All right. All right.